And thank you. Well, with the new year comes a brand new volume of the Scout Guide for Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. This guide is a year-round resource for the area's best independent businesses. We have McKenna and Katie joining us from the Scout Guide. They're here to tell us about this year's guide, I guess, if that's what we're going to call it. So first of all, thank you guys for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
They gave me this and I just was flipping through it because it's my first time actually getting a look at it. It's beautiful, it's enticing, and you're really getting to know a lot of the best businesses here in Northern Kentucky as well as the Queen City.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
How did you guys come up with this idea?
Sure. It is a locally owned business, so Katie and I own it here in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, but it is part of a national network. So there are over 80 markets and cities that have the Scout Guide. So we didn't actually come up with the idea, we just curate it and are the boots on the ground here. And we essentially go and look for some of the best of local, and we get to know the business owners, and we really help them build their brands among the local consumers.
And there's so many to choose from. So for you guys, when you guys first started this adventure, what would you say was the businesses that really drew you to them?
I think at the end of the day, it's about like representation across categories. So of course you're going to come to mind with your brick and mortar boutiques and things like that, who are retailers. But at the end of the day, it's also a guidebook that provides you with services. So think about the things that like you may not have an automatic reference for or a recommendation for. We're going to go out and we're going to find not only your retailers, but your financial advisors and your dentists and your doctors and things across that. So we really look at the wide swath of what is possible.
I already was flipping through here and I said, well, I recognize one of these men, and he ended up being my doctor. And so, and then I didn't even know he moved practices. So there you go. There's like eight of them in a practice. But you know what? The book is beautiful. Beautiful display. I know Frank mentioned it earlier on your coffee table or just somewhere in your household. And it's a great, I feel like, conversation starter because you pick these up and you don't even realize maybe that some of these businesses are in your area.
Absolutely. And it's important to know that we do this every year. So we are constantly scouting. That's why it's called the Scout Guides. We are constantly out looking for the best of local. And it's just one of those gems that people get their hands on. They're always free. So you can always go follow us online. We have a big presence in social media, but you can get a guide anywhere for free. And the idea is that you are supporting local. So we're trying to help you engage with new and cool businesses that you may not otherwise have known of.
And what is the response from these businesses? I'm sure they're just so appreciative to have their obviously face and name somewhere that people are going to pick up and look at and learn more about.
Well, what's great about it is that it's a community. So again, if you're a scouted business, not only are you going to get into this guidebook that, again, we build it for an entire year. As you've said, it's such high quality that it's going to stay out, and it's going to stay out year after year. But we get networking support. So not only do we want to help you advertise individually, we want to connect you with other business owners that are in this guidebook, both in similar categories and across categories. So a business owner is not only going to get advertisement, but they're going to get community and they're going to get networking opportunities as well, which is really what makes it so strong.
Yeah, so if there's a business owner right now that's saying, oh my gosh, I've heard about this, but it's not something that I've been able to really take time and look into, is this something that they can simply call you guys, reach out to you?
Absolutely.
Okay, what's the best way for them to do that?
Our email that comes to both Katie and myself is cincinnati@thescoutguide.com. Definitely following us on social media. We're TSG Cincinnati NKY. And our website is thescoutguide.com/Cincinnati. You can see all the other great cities. So we definitely want to encourage the broader network. We love when people travel and they see the Scout Guide in other markets, and then they come home and realize, wow, we have one here, and use it as a local resource.
That's awesome. We'll try to get a close-up shot if we can. I know I'm putting you guys up there. Look how beautiful that is. It's just really nice. And the picture quality is, guys, I mean, look at this. There's a nice shot, I know, of you guys up front.
And we do all that. So we've got photographers in-house and we style it. So this is a completely...
so you guys hire a photographer to take all these too?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we get original assets from that as well. So that's the really fun part, is that we're going to put this guidebook together ourselves and have a hand in making it as beautiful as it is.
And if you're a bride or somebody that's engaged, I mean, I literally just flipped to this and they have the different jewelers and they have the different wedding venues where you can buy your dress. So there's so many different resources for moms, as far as cooking, restaurants. I mean, the list goes on and on. So we appreciate you guys coming in. This is a beautiful book. It's really cool what you guys do. What a fun job.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. They're like, yes. So keep buying our books so we can keep it going. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. We're going to be back with a look at your forecast as well as those news headlines. But first, we're going to go to break. Stick with us.